Welcome back to the channel, guys. All right, here it is, track proof. This is the 2011 Camaro IRS that we've installed in the 1990 OBS Chevy truck. It turned out freaking trick. I'm loving it so far. This is a awesome way to get this truck to handle, and while getting the LSD, right, limited slip, while getting some big brakes, right? So guys, if you want to do this yourself, not a problem. We've got you covered. We got all the details on how to install this. Just go ahead and stay tuned and watch, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit a like, leave a comment, ask questions, ask why I use this versus, you know, something else like a 3-link or a 4-link, or how can you do it to your truck. Any questions you have, leave those in the comments. Thanks. Enough of the boring stuff. We're gonna go ahead, guys. This is the PSI Conversion Bracket kit. This is the plans that they send you, or the actual template. So my wife, that's Michelle, she's cutting up. She has a steadier hand than I do. She is cutting those out right now as we speak. You have one for one side, one for the other. It shows you front of vehicle, right? So we'll get this cut out and we'll show you what we're gonna do next. All right, guys, so this is probably what you're all worried about, right? This is the biggest deal. These are the templates that, like I said, I showed you, we cut them out, and you got one that's a driver's side left, and then you have the passenger side. They're telling you that align top edge with the top frame of the frame rail, and then they're saying align using any and all existing bolts in frame. I don't have this one, and this has been, I've seen a lot of people say that on the other side they don't have like any of them. We'll see when we get on that side. But I have these two here, and it has this center line with that notch. It's saying axle center line aligned with top hole in frame, right? And it is aligned perfectly with that top hole, and that top hole happened to be this thing that your bed sits on, right? So I pulled that out. We're aligned. We've got these holes. We took an X-Acto knife and cut them out. I found a drill bit that actually fit. That's all you got to do. Find something that fits. And now that's got this jig, right, this template aligned this way. So I look at this. Can you zoom in over here and show them? Like, you look at the crosshairs and you can see I'm dead crosshaired centered, right? This is the whole thing about this, guys, is that when you get this where you want it, right, you got this here. Can you see here at center? All right, so you can see we are center there. That's what we care about, okay? Now look, we are level with the frame rail. And so what happens is when we cut this out, what we're gonna do is we'll try to use the template on the passenger side, but the main thing is pulling measurements based on this cut. So whatever this cut is, that's what I'm gonna do to that side. I'm gonna pull measurements to make sure 100% this thing is square before we cut that side over there, okay? So just know that, you know, if you don't have these holes, you're gonna have probably 2 of them at least. Looks like he had maybe the guy that made these, he probably had this one here. Maybe it was a newer model, whatever. I think his truck might be like a 93. But this is a 1990, and I had these 2 bolts right there. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to locate these holes and drill these with a 1/4 inch. These are for the stress reliefs in this cut for the C-notch. I'm gonna drill these dead center with a 1/4 inch. After I do that, okay, it's telling you here, you got 7/16 drill bit, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'll drill these out with a 1/4. That'll locate exactly where I need to be at for my 7/16 bit. And then I'm gonna take an X-Acto knife and I'm gonna cut out this section here, okay? When I cut that section out, we'll trace it, and that's when I'm gonna take the grinder and take the cutoff wheel and actually cut this section out, okay? So I'm just taking a 1/4 inch drill bit right here to the center. Okay, so I've got that center. You could take a center punch if you wanted to. I'm an electrician, so I'm used to doing this, but if you want to do a center punch, that'd probably be better. So we're through. Now I'm going to go ahead and drill. we're through. Now we're going same thing over here. Remember, low and slow. I'm in first gear. A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. All right, so now, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. So guys, look at that. I was sweating doing that. It's hot here. But anyways, this is what we're looking like. These two holes are centered, right? We've got these drilled, okay? So we're good there. We need to drill these out. We need to mark the frame and then drill those out, and we should be good. I'm just transferring this line, right? I know that the top edge of that line is my cut mark. Okay. So that is everything marked out, ready to be drilled. I got brake fluid all over the place because that stopper ain't working. I'm going to save this template, and so now I should be able to go ahead and drill out these to 7/16 and cut this frame out, right? And I'm going to make my cuts meet that hole. That way there's no stress. It's a radius right there in that corner. So this is 7/16. I swap to the 7/16, and you can see it's going to meet up to that radius. Up. All right, guys. So look, that's going to be where we're going to end up finishing that cut right there on both sides. That way it's radius in that corner. Okay. Same thing over here. Alright guys, I'll deburr that. But that's where it's going to meet up at, so that's where we're going to cut. I'm going to go ahead and remove my template. Alright, so guys, I started here. I went ahead and did this cut, and I stopped here because I believe I need to go straight across. So we'll stop for now. I went ahead and I started here. We're going to head across this way. Obviously, guys, make sure your harness is out of the way. That's number one thing. Make sure everything on the back side is out of the way. A little too late, but you're watching this now, so you've got time. And so what I'm doing right there on that pass is I'm going to go ahead and get my groove. Just showing you different methods. I'm not an expert sheet metal or metal fab guy. I'm not going to claim to be, but if I can do this, you can too. Just take your time, okay? And when you get that groove, now I can just walk it. So now I don't have to focus on trying to keep it straight. Alright, so guys, you want to hit that circle. Again, you hit that circle, that way that radius is there's no stress in that corner right there. So stop as soon as you get there. Do not go past it, okay? But again, this is what it takes, okay? And I'm gonna finish this cut up here, and then we're gonna go ahead and do a straight cut at the bottom here, and we'll slip our bracket on and see how it looks. All right, we're back. Now we are getting ready to drill these out to bolt it up. So just a couple things. These templates here, you only got like 2 holes. Most people don't even, if you have a step side, apparently that's not even gonna be there. We've measured it, it's 37 3/8 to the center of this hole from here, right? 37, same thing on that side I pulled, it's 37 3/8. Then we went ahead and we did a cross measurement, and we came out to 52 5/8, okay? I pulled the same thing on that side, it's 52 5/8. So we know that the frame is square. So what the main thing is you're gonna get this one set. Whatever this one is, you're gonna just duplicate. Use the template to the best of your ability, and we're gonna show you what we do. But the main thing is once you're happy with this side, make this the same on that side, right? So the notch, whatever your notch is, right? If we prove that it's square, that the chassis is square, and we install this one, well then now we'll just go over wherever this notch is gonna be, that other side, that's where that notch is going to be. That's going to make this chassis square so that we're tracking correctly. So then what we did is we drawed everything tight. We got vice grip clamps. We got some vice grip style, some regular style, and we've got everything smashed completely flat against the frame on the bottom side and everything. So your cut, you might have to go in and adjust. I was really lucky on my cut. Everything's meeting up perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and drill each one of these, and we're going to put a bolt in and cinch it up as we go, okay? When we're done, we'll pull it apart. I'll clean the burrs. We'll put some paint on it. That way it don't rust, and we'll catch up with you here after that. So we went through, we marked all of our holes, right? And then we went through with the pilot bit and went ahead and drilled those. Now we've got them all marked and drilled. We're going to open it up with the 7/16. We might even go a little bit bigger to give us some wiggle room. I had a couple that weren't exact, so we'll just probably go a little bit bigger just to give us that adjustment. We're going to probably burn these in with the welder after we're done anyways. So all right guys, do as I say, not do as I do. So what we're doing is trying to get this thing slammed in so that I can show you guys what it looks like. What I used to make this a barrier for rust and everything for right now is some epoxy paint, okay? And this truck's gonna probably come apart this winter and get some more crazy bracing and actually be sandblasted and powder coated. So we're just trying to get to LS Fest and give you guys this content. So we've got that sprayed. We're gonna go ahead and let that dry, give it another coat. But what we've done is we've enlarged all of our holes, right? 7/16. So after this dries, then we'll go ahead and put our bracket in, and then we'll go ahead and cinch it tight. All right, it's gotten hot. We got a canopy out, we got fans out. We're on this side over here. We went ahead and got all these bolts in. Like I said, we opened them up to the 7/16. They're loose, that's what the instructions say. But here's what we've done. We went over there and made the measurement from this notch coming off that back frame rail the exact same on this template. And I accidentally had, these two were not there, but we did have this hole. So that hole was there. We came over and I had a hole right here as well. So I used these, then pulled a measurement from the top of the rail to this line to copy what that one over there is, right? So that way that this height is the same. Let's get you a better camera view. So I pulled from here to this line and I made that one, whatever that one was, and it came out to be the same where this template is. So we know we're good off the back of the frame rail to this line is good on that one as well. It's the same measurement we got from there. So that means we're good this way. And then also on height we're good. And it just so happened that these lined up. So guys, get this all taped in. I went ahead and did an automatic center punch on this hole here, right? And this hole here. Now I'm gonna take the X-Acto knife and cut that out just like I did the other side. And then take the marker, mark it. We'll drill these out to the 7/16, right? Once we do that, then we'll start to go ahead and take the grinder and cut this out for you guys. So stay tuned. So what we did was took the automatic center punch and went ahead and got our corner hose. Those are for the stress reliefs, right? So we'll drill this out to the 7/16. That's for the corner. So that way when you grind, it meets that. You don't want to have a point where a stress crack could happen, right? Or fracture, whatever. So then we went ahead and took an X-Acto knife once we had that located. And right now we cut that out perfectly with an X-Acto knife, and then I took my Sharpie, all right, and there's a line there now. I just did that outline is what I did. So we'll drill this, and then we'll pull this template off, and we'll go ahead and take the grinder and cut that top line all the way down, all right? We got hungry, so took a break real quick. Once we eat, we'll get right back on this. I got this cut out. We're getting ready to start fitting this into here, guys. We are so close. All right, guys, here we are. We're getting ready to bolt this thing in. Last time you see me, I went ahead, I had everything put in there, clamped in there. I used my template, right? We use that template. Guys, any holes get drilled to 7/16. Align this mark here with center line of axle with the hole in the frame. All right, what I did was I pulled the measurement off the back of that frame there to that point there. I then did the same thing and replicated that, okay? That's how I knew I was gonna be 100% true this way, okay? Then we took measurements off the top of the frame rail to the actual C-notch. We made sure that my cut mark was the same. It was 2 5/8, 2 5/8, 100% right. This measurement was 37 7/16, 37 7/16. It's 100% right, it's true, okay? We pulled square measurements. We went from the corner of the frame to the hole. We went from the corner of this frame to the hole, right? We went from the corner of that frame to the notch, okay? From the corner to the notch. So we made sure 100% that we are all good before we cut this side. We've now cut it. You see where we marked all of our holes, and what I recommend is using a Sharpie. I use this color here. It shows up very well. It's a silver Sharpie. It shows up very, very well, right? Metallic. And then what I did is I take a automatic center punch. I went ahead, punched the center of that little square. You'll be left with a little square, right? I punched that and went through it with a very small drill bit, and then stepped my drill bit up until I got to 7/16. All right, this hole right here, this is what no one's gonna be telling you about that I'm telling you about. This here was a rivet. So I did not know that. I had to pull out the grinder one more time and go ahead and knock that rivet out. And then I went ahead, and this is gonna be an actual bolt hole for that, okay? For that actual PSI conversion bracket. So guys, I went ahead, painted it up so that I could put this bracket on. We've been waiting for it to dry. We got it on here. We're gonna now loosely install the M16 bolts into the subframe, into the frame, and then all this is loose now. This is all still loose, both sides. Once we get the actual M16s drawed up, all right, I'm gonna have to get the cherry picker and sling to pick up on the rear of the frame to lower it, get the jack stands out, lower it down, okay? And guys, from that point, we're gonna be mated. And at that point, we'll go ahead, pick it back up, get it on jack stands, and we'll start to torque everything. I'm gonna torque this. I'm not gonna listen to the instructions. I'm gonna go from the center outward. That's how I'm gonna do it. You do what you want. That's just my preferred method looking at how this is. That's how I feel the best process would be. So we're almost there. Guys, it's not that bad. You can do it in your own garage. You've watched me do it. Stay tuned. Guys, here we are. Only thing you've missed, we got the cherry picker. I got a sling on the rear cross member. I pulled it up, pulled out my jack stands. I got this IRS in position. We've lowered it down. We're hovering right above it now. Now it's time to grab our M16 bolts here, and we're gonna go ahead and throw these up and through. The fronts are gonna come up, and I believe the rears are going down. That's for ground clearance because of how low that drop is. So this is, we're about there, guys. Not a problem. We're gonna get this done. All right, guys, we got these torqued, both sides. We just went ahead and ran in the M16. I used the impact to run those in to 24. What we did was I had a 24 wrench here on the bottom side, went ahead and used a 24 in the impact. On this front side, we actually ended up going with a wobble. I'm gonna show you that right now. So now we're at 32 foot-pounds of torque on this. Same exact thing. Go through here. All right. Don't go crazy. Look, we just got our brake line leaking on us. That's cool. All right, hey guys, well, we are super excited. The truck is sitting low as shit. We love it. We got it on jack stands. We're gonna go ahead. We got some people over hanging out. This is like a party. We're having a party. We're working on truck. It's awesome. But guys, we're gonna show you exactly what to do. Remember what I talked about? When you go to order your coilover, look at this. Those are the bottom of a Ride Tech coilover spacers. They fit perfect. So that's what we're gonna use, okay? These bolts are supplied in your kit from PSI Conversion. The lowers are just the stock lowers you're gonna reuse, okay? So with Ride Tech's lower Camaro kit, those right there spacers, we're gonna use those. So I ordered 8. Everything's gonna bolt up perfect. Just come on over here and look. We got the 2 Ride Techs here, right? These 2 Ride Techs, we're gonna go ahead, take them apart. We got one kit already open for you. This is what comes in the kit when you order these. So I went ahead and opted for this. It's like 20 bucks to go ahead and adjust. You don't have to. If you already have a spanner wrench, that's fine. But this is what comes in the kit. We're gonna go ahead and flip back to the page showing you the exploded view. So it shows you right here, guys, everything you need to see. There's your top of your actual outlet with the adjuster. There's your spacers. Now this is what comes when you buy a universal. When you buy a universal, look how small those are. Think about how you would have to open that up to fit our top, right? This is not gonna work for us. We don't care about that. We were smart enough to order the Camaro style for the lowers, and I ordered 8. Here's the 4 for the lower. I've already got the 4 on the top over there, I just showed you. And this is how this works. So you have your top section, you have your actual outlet spacers, you have this snap ring looking thing here. I'm not gonna lie and act like I know what the hell that does. I don't, we'll get to it. You have this top mount here for the actual top of your coil spring, all right? You have this Delrin bushing, all right, shim, whatever you wanna call that. Then you have the actual body of the coilover, and then you have another one of these. And then you have the actual preload adjustment lock ring, okay? This lock ring looks like that little plastic piece is designed to be removed. You can see that right there. We're gonna look at that here in a second. But then you have this to draw it tight. That's setting it tight. And again, down low, you have these. Again, we're not gonna use these. We're not using these. This won't work for us. All right, we're gonna go into the first section of this, and it shows us that number one thing it wants us to do is thread the preload adjustment nut onto the body, onto the shock from the bottom. A few threads of engagement is okay. Here we go, guys. I've got this here. A few threads of engagement. I would say that's a few, okay? It's showing you this. We might as well take it up a little bit. Let's take it up a little bit, right? All right, we know we're good. Now it's saying the rebound adjustment knob must be removed prior to installing the upper spring mount in step 4. Turn the adjustment knob clockwise until it stops. Then remove the Torx screw from the knob. I've already done that for you. These came at 0. I turned them all, or at 1. These are a 24 position. I turned it all the way up to 24. It does not turn. Now we're going to remove this. We got a T10. T10 is going to go ahead and remove this. So here we go. Broke it loose. There it is. Where'd that go? There it is. Okay. So we have this here. Like I said, it's T10. So now we're exposed to this. So we're going through here, right? It says now to go ahead, turn the knob. So we have that removed. All right, so now we're going to slide the Delrin bushing on, right? Followed by the coil spring. So now we got to get this coil spring. Now guys, what we went with This is going to be subjective. We're going with a 500-pound spring. It's from Hyperco. All right, Hypercoils. It's American-made product, right? We can always change these later. We can always buy these. I think they're 80 bucks. Comes with stickers. It's kind of rare these days, so I like that. It's a really cool sticker. Might go on the back of the truck. All right. So now we're going to follow it with this coil spring. Okay. If you look at it, it's wound to the round here to the right to the left. If I do this, same thing. Should not matter. Doesn't specify. So we're going to go ahead and install this spring. All right, adjustment knob removed. Slide on the Delrin washer over the eyelet and place on top of the coil spring, followed by the upper spring mount. Here's the upper spring mount, right? We're going over there, and that's why we removed that, so we can clear that and get that on there. Okay, now we're just going to let that drop, and now it is seated down. There we go. Now we're seated. So from there, we flip the page, slide the retainer clip over the upper eyelet into the groove at the base of the eyelet. Make sure it snaps into place and is fully seated in the groove. This is what they're talking about. Talking about this guy right here, okay? So now we're gonna have to go ahead and get this thing pulled up somehow. We're gonna figure it out. Just bear with us. This is my first time. There we go. That's it. That's all we had to do right there. Okay. So now that's in there. Fully seated. It's fully seated, right? Fully seated. Okay. Reinstall the adjustment knob. So guys, all we're doing now, taking our adjustment knob, it's got a little, it's clocked, right? Like it's splined. So we'll make sure that that fits on there. There it is. And then we'll go ahead, take that T10, run this in. All right. Take my ratchet and give it a little bit of torque, not much. It's probably enough right there. Okay. And now it's telling me once you have reinstalled the knob, you may want to turn the knob about 12 clicks counterclockwise. For the rebound is currently set at full stiff. So right now it's at full stiff. It's saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're dead center. We are at the middle of the stiffness. We're not fully stiff, we're not fully soft. Right in the center, right? So this is the coilover installed, guys. It then says thread the adjustment nut up to the shock body to remove the slack. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go ahead and thread this up until we remove all this slack. There we go, threading it up. Making sure that Delrin bushing's good. Everything looks good to me. It's getting tight. All right, so it's tight. Okay. So we threaded up the shock body to remove the slack, secure the spring and upper mount against the eyelet, install the locking screw in the adjustment nut, but do not tighten yet. All right, the screw will be tightened after your preload has been set. So it's asking us to take this screw right here, and we're gonna go into this guy here, and we're just gonna get started. That's all it wants us to do. All right, so we got just hand tighten. This coilover is now ready to be installed, okay? Obviously, we want the adjustment to be facing outward. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is, we're gonna go ahead and remove this top one. This is the M12 with the 4 lower Camaros. Now, guys, you do what you want. I think I figured it out for all of us. You do what you want. All right, guys, so now we're gonna take the Camaro lower spacers that we got from RideTech. All right, we're gonna go ahead, insert these in the top. All right, and make sure those go through. We're gonna drop this in. So there it is. We got the top installed. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab those lower ones. Go ahead and install those. All right. Now we're going to jack up the actual subframe so that it will grab and we can slide this factory bolt through. Go ahead. We're going to go ahead and jack this up. And once you jack it up, at a certain point, the factory bolt right here is going to go ahead and go right back in. So we got to be slow, patient. Take a look. I'm very close. Very close. And boom, guys, look at that. There we are. Take a look at that. So again, I'm using all 8 lower spacers from the Ride Tech kit, okay? That's what we're using. I'll tighten these up here in a little bit. There you go, that coilover is in. And this is what it looks like. Now we can set our rod height, right? Tighten all this up, torque all this. Look at us, guys. We've done this. I've had help today, thanks to my buddy Matt. Shout out to my buddy Matt. Like, I've done almost all this myself. And yes, I did get some help today. There's a lot of drilling, a lot of the measurements. You want to have those measurements dialed in 100% before you go ahead and cut the second side. That side there, you're going to get close enough with your template, but that's kind of setting the stage for the second one. Getting this second one based off of the first one, that will make sure you have no problems in the future with tracking, with any kind of things like that. So anybody can do it, guys. Y'all can do it. Well, that's a little blooper. Guess what we forgot to do, guys? We forgot to add anti-seize. Trust me, you want to use this stuff. It's going to be a freaking mess, but that's fine. And I think most companies, the warranty, if there is no anti-seize applied, they void the warranty. So we're going to go ahead and try not to look like the Tin Man by the time we get done with this, because everybody knows as soon as you pull this out, it's over. But we're going to go ahead and add some anti-seize. That's what we're doing, right? Making sure that we're under pressure. This stuff is able to be still movable and not seized up. That's what we're doing here. That's the purpose of it, okay? All right, guys, coilovers are installed, right? We haven't torqued anything. We just went ahead and got everything tight. I think it's 79 foot-pounds for those top M12s. Look up your specs for a Camaro rear, but we've got them all on there. Again, make sure to put anti-seize on. We're gonna go ahead and lift this up. Get it off the jack stands. All right. Now we got the 20s. This is from a Camaro SS. All right, guys. Moment of freaking truth. Here we go. This is what everybody's been waiting for. This is just the beginning of one task we got to get finished. Y'all ready for this? Dun dun dun. There it is, guys. There it is. We are on the ground, rolling. Finally. It's been what, 5 days? Something like that? 6, I guess 7. I guess I started on Sunday, I believe. I can't remember. But there we go, guys. There we go. We're doing it. IRS. It's in. You guys can do this, man. If y'all got any questions, put it in the comments. This is just the beginning. We're gonna do a lot of alignment with this, trying to learn this whole setup. Next step is to get this truck out and start pulling that 4.3 and that MV, I guess 3500. I don't know, I'm not a Chevy guy. I guess I am now, but you guys know more than I do. So we'll pull that out, and then if anybody needs that 4.3 or that MV 3500, let me know. Okay, we'll go ahead in this video this way right here. I'm extremely pumped. It was a lot of work, but it's doable. Okay, you see me do most of this myself. Again, I'm gonna thank my buddy Matt for helping me. He's filming right now. He helped me out today to finally dial this thing and get this locked in. Guys, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like. We are small, we're just getting started. We're gonna be at LS Fest. We're gonna make sure it happens, and one of you are gonna be able to ride in this truck and race around Beach Bend. So thanks guys, have a good one.